I do want to take some phone calls and some stories about the times you put your foot in your mouth, Ron Rivera style.
It wasn't so bad. It just
not that bad.
He probably just shouldn't have spoke about Eric Bieniemy. Now,
I mean, but that's what he said. He said, "Hey, I put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have said any of that." In regards to Bieniemy not being maybe the best communicator with some of these young guys.
Well, he's just having a hard time connecting with some players. Some players have come up to Coach Rivera questioning Bieniemy. Now, there's a few thoughts at hand here. If you've been watching Winning Time, which is great, HBO Max, Lakers, there's a scene where Jason Segel, Coach Westhead, is trying to put a new offensive system in place. And all the players are sort of like, nah, we don't know. I don't know. This is ridiculous. I don't know. Our shooting percentage will go down. And then all of a sudden, they also give one big look like, hold on. What do you think, Cap? And they all look at Kareem. And you realize those dynamics in a locker room, in a clubhouse, they go further than you think. And right now, you're dealing with the names on the Commanders, no offense, are chumps compared to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, for all we know, in Kansas City, if Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill back in the day, if the big names bought into Bieniemy, that's all that needed to be done because everyone else is going to follow suit like, yo, he may be a little rough, but, that's, Patrick likes him. Him and Kelsey are tight. And, JC, you were saying Tyreek Hill has spoken highly of Bieniemy.
Yeah, he quote tweeted Ed Werder's story about this. And according to Ty Hill, man, there's no other coach that has your back like EB. Take that coaching and get better. We all been through. It's tough, but I promise you it'll make you better. Coming from Tyreek Hill, who, remember, left the Chiefs for the Dolphins last season.
Yeah, but now think from Eric Bieniemy's story. He won with these guys, bigger names like you said, and now these other dudes aren't trusting what he's saying, so of course he's going to be frustrated and yelling and screaming.
Sam Howell's questioning
him. And his great
I don't know.
Plays, his great strategies get lost in the fact that he's probably frustrated talking to these guys who aren't listening.
But, again, to say what you were mentioning earlier, when you got young players, you almost have to look at it like a relationship where people respond differently. You could think of one girl you dated or an ex-wife or girlfriend or whatever. You get in a big fight, oh, I know how to solve this. I'll buy her a bag or a piece of jewelry. There might be some other girl that's like, that doesn't work at me. Like, I just want you to hold me. Like, there's different ways and different love languages. Well, and not everyone could be coached. Like, think of your childhood, even Little League. There are some guys and some kids that if you're tough on them, they get better. And then there's other kids where if you're tough on them, they crumble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one that if you're tough on me, I'm probably going to do better. And I hate to say that because I don't want the boss taking that as a hint. Be kind to me. But I'm just saying, when someone puts pressure on me, I perform. When someone's like, don't worry, I feel like that's an invitation to slack a little.
Yeah, and to back you up, I don't need that extra pressure on me. I put enough on myself. So everybody has their own way and what works with them. But I do think that there is a different dynamic with these younger guys. You just can't come down on them so hard. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers, right? The way his approach with the young receivers in Green Bay was translating was not working. Mm-hmm. But it seems that he softened it up a little bit in New York, and it seems to be better chemistry.
I mean, Ramos, you're a coach. You deal with a lot of people in the sports world that are on their come up and learning the game.
Yeah, in Little League, in any league, especially when I coach high school, every player is different. You can't assume that everything you say to one player you can say to the other player because they all react differently. And you have to learn as a coach how to motivate certain people in certain ways and how to motivate others in other ways. And so not everybody's the same.
There's one kid that's probably swinging at bad pitches, and you would have to be like, hey, man, get your head out of your ass. Come on, stop chasing the ball. You're better than that. Give a little slap on the back. Get out of here. Another kid, you'd have to be like, listen, I know those, it's tempting to swing at those bad pitches, but let's focus. Let's be one. Like, you have to think about your own kids. I got 2 little kids. My kids are 3 and 6. They respond completely different to any type of discipline.
they would always motivate the chubby kid. Like, you can get some ice cream after the game if you get a hit. If you get a hit, little Timmy, get some ice cream after the game, all right?
Yeah.
And a hot dog and Italian ice.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, everybody's motivated by different things. Now, Ron Rivera says, hey, I put my foot in my mouth. I got 2 stories, Richard, I'll share. And then we'll talk Aaron Rodgers and midweek major and more. 2 stories that stand out to me. One involves alcohol, so I blame it on that, Jamie Foxx style. The other one was just a slip. Like, man, I shouldn't have said that. Dang.
Alcohol.
You and I were interviewing Tyrese right after Paul Walker died. Right after Paul Walker died in a terrible car accident. You and I were interviewing Tyrese and talking about the film. And again, I meant nothing by this at all, but foot was in the mouth. And I was like, man, I'm really sorry to hear about your bud, Paul Walker, and you guys are in the middle of filming, which really sucks because I heard he was really killing it. And then Tyrese, he made it even worse. Or I said he really killed it. Or something
He really
like that.
killed it. And I was like, why would Covino
Tyrese goes, yo, man, that's a really bad choice of words. And I was like, oh. Like, I knew it felt wrong when I said it, and I didn't mean anything by it. But then he just really, he added on to it. He piled on to my crappy feeling and made me feel even worse about putting my foot in my mouth when I said that. Because obviously I meant nothing by that. But he made me feel bad about it. So
I have another one
story.
for you. This is a fun round of name dropping and how Covino said something weird. We were interviewing Megan Fox back in the day. This is before the Machine Gun Kelly days. This is like, Megan Fox. She was on like Maxim magazine, and this is like young Megan Fox. In fact, it's your birthday. She was on our show on her 21st birthday. And remember we did a shot with her.
I remember this. Yeah.
She's dating at the time. Remember Brian Austin Green? Brian Austin Green, get this, Monty. We're in the studio. Covino has his back to the door of our old studio. He doesn't realize that after Megan Fox walks in, Brian Austin Green walks in as well.
Right behind me.
She sits down, and Covino's like, hey, Covino here. Megan Fox on the show. I got to ask you first and first, mostly. What are you doing with that clown, Brian Austin Green? And I remember being like, oh,
she's like, why don't you ask him? And I turn around, and he's sitting there
Play it
looking
off.
at me, waving. I'm like, foot and mouth. Oh, hey, what's up, man?
I mean,
I'm just
again,
messing. I saw you walk in.
These are all worse than Ron Rivera, who just said that his new offensive coordinator is not so-called connecting with some of the guys.
Yeah, but it's
still,
something that shouldn't have been said publicly because people are going to dissect it and speculate just like we were. Everybody is. It's like, oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. Who cares? My next story, again, putting your foot in your mouth, 877-99 on Fox, involves alcohol. I'm not one to act the fool. You never see me acting silly or stupid. I'm never going to do the worm across the dance floor because I'm drunk, okay? You're never going to see my tie around my head at a wedding. That's just not me.
Yeah, sort of unfun.
But I remember I went out with my ex and one of her hot friends. One of her hot friends. And they were having sushi. And I don't really eat sushi. I don't like sushi. I don't really like seafood. I'm not one with crustaceans. I don't eat crustaceans. I don't do crustaceans. I don't do sushi. Right? Pretty simple guy. Like
again, you sound like a blast. This guy's I don't drink. I don't eat seafood or sushi.
So hold on. I'm having my own fun,
some
right?
Chicken tenders. What could be?
And I'm drinking, and I'm like, yeah, another shot. I'm drinking these fancy martini drinks or whatever. I'm just getting sort of buzzed. I'm getting my buzz going. And my ex's hot friend said, yeah, I think I'm done. I don't want any more. Do you eat sushi? Because she, I guess, wanted me to have the rest or something. And I thought it would be hilarious in that moment. Don't ask me why, Billy Joel style. Don't ask me why. But I thought this made sense in the moment.
And because it doesn't even make sense.
Because it doesn't even make sense what I said. But I looked at her and I said, I'll eat your sushi.
What does that even
And dude, everyone
what
stopped
type of
mid-bite.
weird innuendo?
Like my
So,
ex kicked
what?
my shins under the table. She gave me the dirtiest look, mean mugged me.
Oh.
Everyone stopped and it was like, "What do you mean by
I
that?"
just don't even know.
And I'm like, I don't know. That was
I'm
funny.
a drunk idiot.
I guess I'm a little too buzzed. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna go to the bathroom right now. Bye, dude. I heard it all the way home. What did you mean?
What does
you
that
ate her
even mean?
sushi? What does that even mean? Was that supposed to be funny? What that mean?
Sexual? What are you doing?
Ruined the night. Put my foot in my mouth. You know, the girl thought I was a creep. My ex thought I was the worst.
No.
And that's just one story that stands out of many.
I think your ex still thinks you're the worst.
Yeah, probably.
And that girl probably still thinks you're
Makes
a creep.
sense. Yeah. Put
So
my foot
hey,
in my mouth.
don't do a Ron Rivera. But hey, the bigger lesson is everyone needs different types of love and affection. Everyone needs different types of coaching. If you're a teacher, a coach, NFL, Little League, Pop Warner football, you're going to treat different kids differently. Newsflash, a lot of the guys we watch and root for are like 20-something. We keep
That's why I said young
as
kids.
we get older, the athletes are getting younger and younger compared to us. And you're like, man, they should know better. Know better? You're a 40-year-old guy. You know better. When we're talking about Johnny Manziel or Jamarcus Russell or Kyler Murray, we're talking about these guys making decisions we don't love. They're like kids.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that Eric Bieniemy doesn't need to maybe say, all right, everyone's going to receive my coaching and direction
But
different.
let's be real. Eric Bieniemy's not going to say, all right, guys. All right, kids. Now, everybody sit crisscross applesauce. Pull out your notepad. You know, there's still professional football players who have to learn from this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think the lesson to be learned is also if someone steps up, like a Tyreek Hill, like Jay Stu said, or Mahomes and Kelsey, if guys that have said, if guys said, hey, you know, he's one of the reasons we won a couple Super Bowls. This guy, it may be tough, but it's worth it.
Just listen to the guy.
Yeah. I'm telling you, think of any tough coach. What was always the payoff? Man, he's really hard on you. It's a pain in the butt, and yeah, he might have to work harder, but man, it's worth it.